Oh, yeah. Oh, come on, little bud. Oh, there we go. Got the fire going. Got the chair. Gotta get my coffee. There we go. Coffee. Tripod. Boom, boom. Nice, nice. There. All right. One last thing. Aha! There it is. The Lorax by Dr. Suess. All right, hello everyone. Welcome to my fireside. I don't know if you can tell, but I did in fact turn on the fire. Turns out, remote controlled, battery powered candles aren't the same as a fire, but that's okay. Today I've been asked to read a story aloud for one of the classes in the Natural Leaders Project. And their request was the Lorax, a fantastic book I have not read in a very, very long time, so it's almost like I'm going to be reading it again. This is obviously by the incomparable Dr. Suess. This is a Random House Publishing book, and so by order and decree, we will be publishing this privately to YouTube. Please do not share this video. Wow. Dr. Suess has done so much. Dr. Suess has written and illustrated 42 world-famous books for children and their lucky, lucky parents. Oh, I remember that one. That's just good literature. Green eggs and ham. Anyway, so today I'm reading The Lorax by Dr. Suess, here by the fire. So, read along with me if you would. The Lorax by Dr. Suess. Ooh, we open on a good page already. Who's that spooky ooky guy? Maybe gal. I don't know their story behind that purple thing. Ooh. And look here, this little orange guy, I bet he's our protagonist, which means our good guy. Or the person the story is written around. Purple grass, I'll take that. That's pretty cool. All right, The Lorax by Dr. Suess. A book from Random House Publishing in New York City. At the far end of town, where the grickle grass grows, and the wind smells slow and sour when it blows, and no bird ever sings, except old crows, is the street of the lifted Lorax. And deep in the grickle grass, some people say, if you look deep enough, you can still see today where the Lorax once stood, just as long as it could before someone lifted the Lorax away. What was the Lorax, and why was it there? And why was it lifted and taken somewhere? From the far end of town where the grickle grass grows, the old Onceler still lives here. Ask him. He knows. Intrigued. You won't see the Onceler. Don't knock at his door. He stays in his lurkum on top of his store. He lurks in his lurkum, cold under the roof, where he makes his own clothes out of muffled moof. And on special dank midnights in August, he peeks out of the shutters, and sometimes he speaks and tells how the Lorax was lifted away. He'll tell you, perhaps, if you're willing to pay. Look at that house. There's a bucket in there. Oh, I bet that's how he gets his cash. On the end of a rope, he lets down a tin pail, and you have to toss in 15 cents and a nail and the shell of a great-great-great-grandfather snail. Then he pulls up the pail, makes a most careful count to see if you've paid him the proper amount. Then he hides what you paid him away in his snub, his secret strange hole in his grovulous glove. Ooh, look at that. That's crazy. Those are some crazy gloves. Then he grunts, I will call you by the whisper my phone, for the secrets I tell are for your ears alone. Sloop! Down slips the whisper-ma-phone to your ear, and the old Onceler's whispers are not very clear, since they have come down through a snurgly hose and he sounds as if he had smallish bees up his nose. Now I'll tell you, he says, with his teeth sounding gray, how the Lorax got lifted and taken away. It all started way back, such a long, long time back. Here, this is what I'm talking about. Look at all this color. Way back in the days when the grass was still green, and the pond was still wet, and the clouds were still clean, and the song of the swami swans rang out in space. One morning I came to this glorious place, and I first saw the trees, the truffula trees, the bright-colored tufts of the truffula trees, mile after mile in the fresh morning's breeze. And under the trees I saw brown barbaloots, frisking about in their barbaloot suits, as they played in the shade and ate truffula fruits. From the ripulous pond came the comfortable sound of the humming fish humming while splashing around. But those trees, those truffula trees, all my life I've been searching for trees such as these. The touch of their tufts was much softer than silk, and they had the sweet smell of fresh butterfly milk. I felt a great leaping of joy in my heart. I knew just what to do. I unloaded my cart. In no time at all, I built a small shop. Then I chopped down a truffula tree with one chop, ka-tunk. And with great skillful skill and with great speedy speed, I took the soft tuft and I knitted a thneed. The instant I'd finished, I heard a gazump. I looked. I saw something pop out of the stump of the tree I chopped down. It was sort of a man. Describe him? That's hard. I don't think I can. He was shortish and oldish and brownish and mossy, and he spoke with a voice that was sharpish and bossy. Mister! Wait, new voice. Mister! Wait. Short, sharp and bossy. So my own voice. Mister, he said with a sawdusty sneeze, I am the Lorax. I speak for the trees. I speak for the trees have no tongues. And I'm asking you, sir, at the top of my lungs. He was very upset. Oh, wait. He was very upset as he shouted and puffed. What is that thing you have made with my truffula tuft? Look, Lorax, I said, there's no cause for alarm. I chopped just one tree. I am doing no harm. I'm being quite useful. This thing is a thneed. A thneed's a fine something that all people need. It's a shirt, it's a sock, it's a glove, it's a hat. But it has other uses. Yes, far beyond that. You can use it for carpets, for pillows, for sheets, for curtains or covers, for bicycle seats. Lorax said, Sir, you are crazy with greed. There's no one on earth who would buy a fool thneed. But the very next minute I proved he was wrong, for just at that minute a chap came along, and he thought that the thneed I had knitted was great. He happily bought it for $3.98. I laughed at the Lorax. You poor stupid guy. You never can tell what some people will buy. I repeat, cried the Lorax, I speak for the trees. I'm busy, I told him. Shut up, if you please. I rushed across the room and in no time at all built a radiophone. I put in a quick call. I called on my brothers, my uncles and aunts, and I said, listen here, here's a wonderful chance for the whole Onceler family to get mighty rich. Get over here fast, take the road to North Nitch, turn left at Weehawken, sharp right at South Stritch. And in no time at all, in the factory I built, the whole Onceler family was working full tilt. We were all knitting thneeds, just as busy as bees, to the sound of the chopping of trefula trees. Ooh. Then, oh, baby, oh, how my business did grow. Now, chopping one tree at a time was, well, too slow. So I quickly invented my super axe hacker, which whacked off 4 trefula trees with one smacker. We were making thneeds 4 times as fast as before, and that Lorax, he didn't show up anymore. But the next week he knocked on my fancy new office door. He snapped, He snapped, I'm the Lorax who speaks for the trees, which you seem to be chopping as fast as you please. But I'm also in charge of the brown barbaloots, who played in the streets in their barbaloo suits, and happily lived eating truffula fruits. Now, thanks to your hacking my trees to the ground, there's not enough truffula fruit to go round. And my poor barbaloots are all getting the crummies because they have gas and no food in their tummies. They loved living here, but I can't let them stay. They'll have to find food, and I hope that they may. Good luck, boys, he cried and sent them away. I, the Onceler, felt sad as I watched them all go. But business is business, and business must grow, regardless of crummies and tummies, you know. I meant no harm, I most truly did not, but I had to grow bigger, so bigger I got. I biggered my factories, I biggered my roads, I biggered my wagons, I biggered the loads of the thneeds I shipped out. I was shipping them forth to the south, to the east, to the west, to the north. I went right on biggering, selling more thneeds, and I biggered my money, which everyone needs. Then again, he came back. I was fixing some pipes when that old nuisance Lorax came back with more gripes. I am the Lorax, he coughed and he whiffed. He sneezed and he snuffled, he snargled, he sniffed. Onceler, he cried with a querulous croak. Onceler, you're making such speculous smoke. My poor swami swans, why, they can't sing a note. No one can sing who has smoke in his throat. And so, said the Lorax, please pardon my cough, they cannot live here, so I'm sending them off. Where will they go? I don't hopefully know. They may have to fly for a month or a year to escape from the smog that you've smogged up around here. What's more, snapped the Lorax as dander was up, let me say a few words about gloopity-glop. Your machinery chugs on day and night without stop, making gloopity-gloop, also sloppity-slop. And what do you do with this leftover goo? I'll show you, you dirty old Onceler man, you. You're gumping the pond where the humming fish hummed. No more can they hum, for their gills are all gummed. So I'm sending them off. Oh, their future is dreary. They'll walk on their fins and get woefully weary in search of some water that isn't so smeary. And then I got mad. I got terribly mad. I yelled at the Lorax, now listen here, Dad. All you do is yappy yap and say bad, 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 bad. Well, I have my rights, sir, and I'm telling you, I intend to go on doing just what I do. And for your information, you Lorax, I'm figuring on biggering and biggering and biggering and biggering turning more truffula trees into thneeds, which everyone needs. And at that very moment, we heard a loud whack. From outside the fields came a sickening smack of an axe on a tree. Then we heard the tree fall. The very last truffula tree of them all. No more trees. No more thneeds. No more work to be done. So in no time, my uncles and aunts, everyone, all waved me goodbye. They jumped into my cars and drove away under the smoke-smuggered stars. Now all that was left neath that bad-smelling sky was my big, empty factory, the Lorax, and I. The Lorax said nothing, just gave me a glance. Just gave me a very sad backward glance as he lifted himself by the seat of his pants. And I'll never forget the grim look on his face when he hoisted himself and took leave of this place through a hole in the smog without leaving a trace. And all that the Lorax left here in this mess was a small pile of rocks with the one word, unless. Whatever that means, well, I just couldn't guess. That was a long, long time ago. But each day since that day, I've sat here and worried away. Through the years while my buildings have fallen apart, I've worried about it with all of my heart. But now, says the Onceler, now that you're here, the word of the Lorax seems perfectly clear. Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. So, catch, calls the Onceler. He lets something fall. It's a truffula seed. It's the last one of all. You're in charge of the last of the truffula seeds, and truffula trees are what everyone needs. Plant a new truffula, treat it with care, give it clean water, and feed it fresh air. Grow a forest, protect it from axes that hack. Then the Lorax and all of his friends may come back. That was so good. It's interesting to think about how this truly applies to our lives. So that was Lorax by Dr. Seuss. What a great story. There are so many. It was written, I don't know when it was written, but it was published in 1971. I can only imagine how much more accurate it is today than it was even when it was written. The things that we buy, the things that we consume, the things we think we need, we don't really see the environmental impact of all that stuff. But what can you do about it? Well, go find a truffula seed and plant a new truffula, treat it with care, give it fresh water and feed it fresh air. Grow a forest, protect it from axes that hack. Then the Lorax and all of his friends will come back. Very awesome. Enjoy, you guys. And don't forget, plant something. Plant something. Plant something. Plant something. So good!